Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all hold it up to the camera. Hold it up in front of your face.
Oh, it feels nice.
It feels nice? Yo, it feels like winning? Oh! Oh!
Alright, I want to head out. Good luck with you guys.
I think I know what it's made out of. It's made from that best green in NA. Best green player in NA. That's the material right there. Alright guys, welcome back to another video with No Hits TCG. Today we have another special guest. Alright, this man hailing from Queens, New York. Alright, local legend over here. He had an incredible run. I don't know if you guys have heard of, if those of you who are familiar with sports, this was a Cinderella story, start to finish from this weekend, alright? He's gonna talk about it himself, but this is Minjae, aka Silent Quack, aka NA's best green player.
No, best Bonney.
Best Bonney, hands down. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I got lucky.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello, my name is Minjae. I go by Silent Quack on TCG.
Why don't we start by showing the deck that you played?
Sure, of course.
A lot of people opted to play a lot of like Dofi, Shanks, Ploofy, a lot of BY, but you chose something that was really just not out there, really.
I chose my leader, Jewelry Bonney.
Why Bonney?
Why Bonney? I mean, some people say it was a meta call. I just picked it because it was comfort. I played it as soon as it came out. I used to main Katakuri. I got bored of it playing it for like 2-3 sets. I decided it's time for a new leader. Everyone's sick of Katakuri. So I decided to pick up Bonney. I like playing big drops, what can I say? That's pretty much it, and I just stuck to it.
And he's not kidding, guys. When he says he sticks to a deck, he sticks to a deck. We've tried to tell him to drop the deck, but he didn't. But it clearly worked out for him. It paid off. So before you even played in the main event, did you get an invite or
No.
what happened?
So I got in through waitlist LCQ. I did not plan on going to Orlando. I only went because everyone else was going. Basically that.
So you're telling me you waitlisted to play in the LCQ, and from the LCQ, what did you place?
8th.
He placed top 8 into the main event. My man got himself the whole shebang. Rebecca, Vivi, Shirahoshi, the Serial Shanks into the main event. And the main event, how did you do day 1 Swiss?
Day 1 Swiss, I went X2 7-2. I lost to Alucci and Dofi, but I got lucky and I bubbled in. 31st.
31st. He made the cut, but that's all he needed. Because day 2,
True.
he did his magic.
Day 2, round 1, top 32 was a Dofi matchup. I think I went 2-0. It was against Kevin Zhao, another local friend. Unfortunately.
Local friend, he says.
Friendly fire, it was friendly fire. Round 2, I got lucky. It was against a black-yellow. I also 2-0'd that. But the funny thing is, in the top 32, it was black-yellow versus black-yellow. So no matter what, if I won my top 32, I was versing a black-yellow. So I was confident going in. And then the top 8 match was Lucci. I lost 0-2 to the second place guy, actually. That's just a tough matchup. Lucci, one of the worst. One of the worst.
And we'll definitely see why he might say that once we go through his deck list. And so why don't we just go through your deck list now?
Okay, sure.
Minjae, how did it feel doing LCQ, then main, then top?
Honestly,
that's true.
I was
Friday,
not.
Saturday, Sunday.
I was not expecting to do well. I'll say that much. Because I think in Dallas LCQ, I bombed out like round 5 or 6. X3, I just dropped with my friends. We went to eat barbecue. It was a good time. But coming in, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do well. But I just played it up and went X1. Went to day 1. I was like, I already won. I topped LCQ. I already won. So I just try to have as much fun as possible. Made it to day 2. Got lucky pairings and then got top 8.
Too good. So basically, like a lot of it was like once you got that first top 8 in that LCQ, it like helped free your mindset and helped you like relax a little more.
I think so. I think it also like gave a little confidence, I guess, to show that I know some of the matchups. You know, I got lucky. I avoided a lot of black decks, but still, I beat the ones I had to beat. Yeah.
Has it sunk in that you actually made top 8?
No,
you were 8, one of the 8 finalists in all of North America. Like we have so many top players in the world playing in North America, so many really good players, and you cracked it playing a green deck.
I just got lucky. I just got lucky.
A humble man,
Lucky.
people.
Good pairings. Good matchups.
Pairings. All right.
All right, let's get.
All right.
Enough about the man. Let's see the deck.
The deck, so I play the double searcher engine. I play Bonney and Baby 5. This is just a double searcher engine. I know some people like just single supernova package. I just got used to double searcher. I think it gives you more control in what you want to see. This Baby 5 is mostly for your Dofis and your counter, while Bonney is for like your mid-game stuff like Cavendish, Kid, and also some counter if you don't hit those. So those are my searchers. Like I was saying, Dofi searches the 2Ks. I play 5 Donkey Looks Pirates 2Ks. I play... Oh, I guess I should add this. I guess it's 7 targets for 2Ks in a sense. I consider the 0 cost a 2K, right? So 7 of these and 6 supernovas. It's just to even out the searching targets. You want like 20-20. Make sure you don't whiff. I whiff sometimes. It happens. So those are my 2Ks. And then going my blockers. So these are blockers you want with Kid. You want to pair them up with 8 cost Kid. So here's 8 cost Kid. You basically, against some matchups, you could play the 2 cost blockers early. I don't like it too much. I just try to save it for prepping for Kid. So you play the Kid and then you cheat out these blockers. That's usually the combo for like aggro matchups. You want to take your life and then sit behind the Kid. So that's one defense mechanism. Next up is Cavendish and Carrot. These are your 5 drops. These are so important. If you miss on these 5 drops on your 5-6 down turn, it's so tough to come back. Cavendish you can use anytime. It's just so much value. You just play it, you get 2 Dawn back, save 1 Dawn up for a leader effect, and then they have to deal with this. If they don't deal with the Cavendish, whatever comes next is just too much value. You get so much Dawn value off Cavendish. You could play Hody, you could play Kid, and then have a Dawn rested on it. Yeah, they have to deal with this Cavendish. And this Carrot is for the aggro matchups like Dofi, Purple Luffy. You need this to hold off on the pressure. You play it, you freeze, and it already gave you value just by playing it and freezing. So that's for the 5 drops. Next up, my favorite card, Hody Jones. Hody Jones. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think it's one of the best cards ever. Like, you don't really care about taking your life. You'll probably be healthy, but this is against Dofi. You use this for board control. You can rest your characters, swing at it. This can also be used to go for game. You can rest blockers, rest Dawn against Purple Luffy, which is, it came up where you just rest their Dawn and then you swing for game. Yeah, it's just so versatile. And taking a life, it's not a big deal as long as you're aware of your life count. Usually it doesn't matter too much. That's the 7 cost, my favorite card. And then for big drops, it's 9 Shanks and 10 Dofi. This is just, the 9 Shanks is mostly for the Shanks matchup. And it also kills big bodies, but it's mostly for the Shanks matchup where they play big guys and rush. You can't deal with the big bodies, so you have to answer it with the Shanks, right? If you don't have the Shanks, you play the 10 Dofi, freeze everything, and then you stall it out while going for their life. So these are just your big bodies to play if you don't have the Kid, if you don't have the Hody. I think on 10 Dawn, I would probably play this over anything else, usually, if you could get value off it. And that's about it, yeah. That's it for the deck.
Okay, cool. What do you consider are the flex spots of this deck? Because I noticed that you don't run any of the. I've seen a lot of lists run Hawkins for when black was a very dominant deck.
Right.
You see a lot of options, other like four drop and roll. So what are the flex spots in your deck list that you think people would be able to like play with and maybe switch out some cards if they wanted to?
If you look through some deck lists, I know people drop. If you want to put in more bricks, it's usually better to take out a brick. That's how I consider it when deck building. So like you would take out like a Dofi or like a Shanks, or like maybe even a Hody, depending on how you like to play, right? I think 3 kids is mandatory in this meta. Right? I think no matter what, you can't go less than 3 kids. Because if you go less, you're not gonna find it. If you get pudding, you could find it again. Like 3 targets is good. But if I were to take stuff out, it would definitely be 1 Shanks, maybe 1 Dofi, maybe a 2K. This is greedy though. I know some people have done this where you just take out, you go less on 2Ks. I think it's a little greedy because you need the counter in the aggro matchups. But if you think you can pull it off, it's fine.
Do you also like the killer instead of the 1 cost?
Oh, right. So this is, I guess this is also a flex spot. So I know people play 1 cost Beige. You could also play 3 cost Barto, right? Those are also targets you can pick. I just chose this because I saw another Bonney player, Quan Lee. I don't know if he topped or he went undefeated in Swiss. He was playing this and tried it out.
He talked a while ago.
Yeah, a while ago. I got inspiration from that.
And put 1 on top of that.
I think it's okay. It's alright. I wouldn't say it's like some new special tech. It's just another blocker to add. I like it because there's counter on it. Because Beige does not have counter. It's a brick. I just think having counter is so good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the other techs that people would consider playing into this green Bonney deck?
For techs, I have it on the side. You could play Beige. You could play a Rouge. You could play Bonney. Of course, Hawkins. Good old Hawkins. Carried me 08, right? 08. When there was so many black decks. You could play Zoro. And you can also play Rosinante. Right? I think these are mostly what you would see maybe before, maybe now. We already went through Beige. It's just a replacement blocker with no counter though. It's 1 cost, so it's easier to play. Like you could do Cavendish on 5 and play this. It's not bad. I think it's just a brick. It's hard to play. Rouge, I used to love this card, and then Dofi became meta. And now it just gets bounced. It just gets bounced. Like it's so useless. It just gets bounced. It's so sad. And then 5 Bonney. 5 Bonney is good, but I think Carrot is better right now. Because Bonney is good against black decks. You could freeze their Jack. Black Yellow, you could freeze their Dawn. It's disruptive, but those are 2 decks you don't expect to see, right? Against a black yellow, you already win. I would say you already win as long as they don't have perfect curve on you. You're usually favored, I would say. But against like Dofi, you have to think about it in the I thought about it in the sense that how do I beat Dofi and Purple Luffy? How do I never lose? Bonney wasn't in that, right? It's good, but it's just not as good as Carrot. And there's just so many slots on the deck. So that's why I didn't play this. Hawkins. It also carried me against these the Lucci players, but I didn't expect a lot of Luccis, which is why I took it out. I know some people run 1 Hawkins. It's okay. I feel like 1 is just such a like if you put 1 in, like how often do you see it, right? That's why I just didn't play it at all. It's really good in black matchup. It's really good, but it's so slow against everything else. Like against Dofi, you'll probably play like Cavendish into Hawkins, right? And then you're just opening yourself up to Gravity Blade. It's like GG at that point. If they Gravity Blade these 2, it's like GG, right? What other decks? Purple Luffy, you just like... It's not as good as Carrot. We could just say it like that. Like, would you rather play Hawkins or Carrot? Usually it's carried because they already have a rested target, right? So that's why I don't play this. It is a blocker though. If you think you're gonna verse a lot of black decks, or maybe like BY, I would consider 1 or 2. It's hard to play more than 1.
What would you move out if you were to include Hawkins?
If I wanted to include Hawkins,
Since there was like surprisingly there were a lot of black decks during that.
yes, there was more Lucius than I expected, but not too many made top cut, I think, right? But if I wanted to play this, I might drop a killer, so a blocker for blocker, or I might just drop like a Shanks. Shanks are, like if you wanted to add 2, I would do like 1/1 and then just add 2 to Hawkins. So that's Hawkins. And then there's Rosinante. This is just for more aggression. Like if you want board control, you just play this. The problem with Rosinante is you can only target 5 costs, right? So if you want to fit a Rosinante in, you have to fit in more 5 costs. And the deck is already like, it's so packed already. Like it's so hard to fit this in. And it's a little, I would say you want to play this on 8 only. You get the most value on 8 Dawn, right? And at 8 Dawn, you're only looking at like 7-8 cards at most. Unless you like high roll like double searcher and then you can search this and search your 5-drop. Otherwise, it's hard to get the combo off. I think it's just too inconsistent to play. But it used to be good against like Lucci. When they would play on 7, they would play Jack, and then you can answer with Rosinante Bonney. That used to be really strong. But since that's gone, I don't think it's too good. I could be wrong though. I didn't test it too much with this. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was just too inconsistent. And then for the last tech card, Zoro. Zoro is so good. I don't know what else to say. Swing 16, 16, 16. It's just, how do you beat that? It just gets red rocked. No, like what do you do? It just gets red rocked. So
There's Dofi that has red rock.
Dofi has red rock.
Rygo.
BY Rygo. Blackbeard has Blackbeard. Yeah, like if you want to play this, you need to play more than 1, I think. And it's just, how often will this win you a match compared to like double freeze Dofi? Like that just sounds so much better than just Zoro and Prey. So that I just try to keep it as consistent as possible. I know my game plan going into these matchups is just like against black decks, I will just chain Dofis. Against purple Luffy, Dofis is also good. Against like Shanks, it's just same. These 2 boss monsters. No need for Zoro. No need for Zoro yet. I expect a lot of Blackbeards, and maybe then you can tech the Sid, because everything else is useless against Blackbeard. But Zoro is pretty good. But you would have to play more than 1. It's hard. It's hard. Deck building is hard. But yeah, that's it. I think that's about it for tech cards.
And then overall about the deck, how do you feel about playing Bonney through the rest of set 9?
Through the rest of set 9.
Is it something that you want to do, or is it something that where you're like, okay, I had my run with Bonney at Nats, it's had its fun, it's cool, but I think it's time to maybe adjust to...
It's interesting. I think there was only 1 Bonney in top 8, right? But there were 3 Bonnies in top 32, top cut.
Oh, were there?
Yeah, there were 3 Bonnies. So there are believers. There are believers. I think it's a deck where you need good matchups. Like, it's a deck where you have to pray you don't burst Luchis and Blackbeards. That's how I see it. Like, you could win those, but it's just so unfavored. But if you do get good matchups, maybe. For me personally, I feel like there's going to be a rise of Blackbeards, given that Black-Yellow recently won. I feel like a lot of players are just going to practice the Blackbeard matchup. Yeah. If that is the case, I would not pick up Bonney. If you expect a lot of Dofis, sure, Bonney is the way to go. Bonney is the way to go. Beat those Dofis. But it's going to be a hard battle against Blackbeard. Yeah, that's all I would say.
And what about OP10? Have you looked into OP10 Bonney?
Oh, I heard OP10 Bonney gets a lot of support.
I did. I saw a couple of tops over in Asia. With
I
Bonney.
think
I saw one of the top
won.
Bonnies in Philippines.
Yeah, Philippines they won. Yeah. It was really impressive. I'm hyped.
You're hyped? Is
I
it
think
gonna be you?
in 10, I think in 10 I will pick it up again. Maybe try out Law. Try out Law first and then go to Bonney. I think it'll be good. Like in 010, you can start playing Zoro again. which is fun. Like, I think out of all the boss monsters, Zoro is the coolest. It's the coolest. Yeah, 16. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
He's just a cool
Boom.
guy. I mean, look at him. Look at that. Dude's on demon time.
It's nice. It's nice.
You're blinged out, but where's your manga?
Come on now.
Come on. You had a nice payday. Nice payday.
All right, well, I'll buy manga for $5.
$5.
Who got me?
Hey guys, if you want to support the channel, consider donating to our top 8 over here. He needs a manga Zoro, otherwise he's dropping the deck.
I don't think I would have the guts to put a manga Zoro in my deck.
You Bonney Copers, you better help him out.
In OP10, Blackbeard also gets a lot of support.
Blackbeard
if you do
gets
see
a
a lot
lot.
of them, would you just drop Bonnie?
I mean, I haven't tried out any OP10 stuff. I heard it's not too bad with the Zoro, right? Just play 4 Zoro. I think it'll be fine if you have Zoros.
Thanks.
All right, cool. Thank you so much for spending your time with us here today. Before you head out, you got any shout-outs?
Shoutouts? Not much. Shout out everyone at GU Locals Gaming Universe. That's where I play Card Quest. I also play here a lot. Everyone that went to Orlando with me. I didn't expect to do well. I just wanted to hang out with friends, so I'm glad everyone was there to celebrate. I think that's about it. Yeah. Shout out No Hits TCG.
Of course.
Can't forget that. Yeah, that's it.
All right, cool.
That is very nice.
Thank you, thank you.
nice
I'm gonna start flexing the map, even though I lose X2 at locals.
Do you mind if we get a little spread out of your deck list
Oh,
so
sure,
everyone
sure.
can take a nice little?
Here's the baby fives.
That way, people who want to just screenshot at the end of the video.
Do you also have any social medias you'd like to?
No, I don't, not really. I have a Twitter. I don't use it at all. I just felt the need to flex my top 8, so I made a post. But I'm not that active.
A humble guy. He's nothing but a humble body player, guys. But don't worry, behind the cameras, he calls himself NA's best. NA's best green.
Why you lying?
Number 1 Bonney.
There's a lot better players than me. Which I got to meet at Nats, which is always fun. It's always fun meeting the...
Yeah, that's always the nice part about these like big tournaments, right? You meet all these really big players. You get to like make some connections. Guys, stay tuned. Watch out for this guy, man. He might
Don't
be,
watch out for me.
He might be skinny and humble, but he's a shark waiting to take over. He's like Hody. Once he starts bulking up, guys, that's him. We're gonna Photoshop his face on this, and he's
My
gonna be
favorite
Hody Jones.
card.
His
My
favorite card.
Yo, isn't the art sick? Like, look, it's so
Too good.
different. It's so
It's so
different. compared to
different.
the rest.
No, PRB is better.
I can't
PRB
lie.
Hody. PRB Hody's better.
You might be on your own.
I love
Yeah.
Hody who.
But if you see this guy, if you see this playmat, silent block on an online tourney, just know.
Ask him to sign your Bonney cards. Ask him to sign them.
No, don't do that.
I'm getting my Bonney leader signed next week, guys.
so many better players out there.
Also, you did have the LCQ run to top 8. So how was the matchups during?
I know a lot of people asked. I posted all my matchups, but I think it was mostly Dofi and Purple Luffy. A little bit of Shanks. I only, in the LCQ, I went 8-1. I only lost to a Dofi. I want to say I got high rolled. That might sound like I'm salty or something, but no, I lost to a friend, so it's fine. We both made it to top 8. But other than that, I versed 2 Purple Luffys, 1 Shanks, 2 Black Yellows, 3 Dofis, and 1 Lucci. Right? I think that adds up to 9. I won all of them except 1 Dofi. Going through that run, I think early on I don't remember too much. I didn't keep track, but I just played on curve against the Dofi matchups. You just want to control the board, don't hit their life, try to stay healthy so you don't get puddinged. I think that's the biggest one. You have to play around pudding. That's one of the hardest things to do in this matchup. It's like you have to judge whether or not it's fine to get pudding because they'll have no board, or if you get pudding here, will you lose? Then you pitch the counters. Yeah. Purple Luffy, you're so favored in Purple Luffy. It's like as long as you see like a 5-drop and then a big body next, like you'll be fine. I think so. You should practice it a little. If you're having trouble, just practice it a little. Try to play your carrots, keep them on board. If you don't have the kid, Shanks is fine, Dofi is fine. Just try not to get run down too quickly. Black yellow, 2 black yellows. I was surprised about that. It was back to back. That one you're just so favored in. You want a big board, right? You want to just threaten big bodies. You play your big bodies. Don't let them awaken for free. Let them waste their cards to awaken. The only problem is, let's say they win the dice roll and they get second and they find Kuzan on curve. Like Lucci. No, not Lucci. What am I saying? Kuzan on curve and then Fist Luffy into Moria, right? Like, that's so hard to beat. If that happens, it happens. It happens. That didn't happen to me, luckily. That's my LCQ run. I got 8th. Day 1. Day 1 was crazy. Day 1, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dofis. 5 Dofis day 1. 2 Shanks, 1 Purple Luffy, and 1 Lucci, right? I lost to Lucci. I lost to a really good Lucci player, Sammy. He's just really good. I didn't have... I think, what happened? I don't remember what happened. I just got stomped. It was just like, I think he just played like Jack, Kaido, Moria, like, it's just so rough if they see that. And then I lost to a Dofi. I forgot what happened. I just versed so many Dofi players. I think it was a long battle. He played the 9 Mihawk, which was surprising. I think that surprised me. Yeah. I lost that one. I won the rest. It's just the same old. Like, as long as you do well in the Dofi matchup, you'll probably do well in any tournament. So far, right now at least. That was day 1. Oh, the Shanks matchups. I got pretty lucky against the Shanks. I think both Shanks missed their 10-drop on 10 dollars. I think that's what happened. Or I had my Shanks in response to their 10 Shanks. I think that's what happened, yeah. So as long as you have the Shanks to answer their Shanks, you'll be fine. Day 2 was top cut. Round 1, top 32 was against Dofi, Kevin Zhao. His Dofi list ran 0 Jozus. Jozus is so good against Bonney. So once I knew he didn't have Jozus, it was like, damn, this is really favored for me. I went 2-0, and then the next one was Black Yellow Luffy. I was like, damn, this is so favored for me. I went 2-0, and then I guess this is karma. I ran into a Lucci next round. Boom, I got 0-2'd. That one is just... I feel like against Lucci now, you have to stay perfect to beat them, or they have to like mill all their Morias or something. I got a little bit of tips from Sammy, the Lucci I lost to, and he was telling me like, as a Lucci, you don't want to see like, I go first and then I play like Cavendish Hody. That's a deadly combo, Cavendish Hody. That's so much pressure if they don't answer it. And then you respond to their Jack with Shanks up your own. You Shanks their Jack. And then that's how you gain tempo, and then you always push life, don't want to stall it. They get too much value off Moria. Yeah. But I couldn't do it. It's just one of those matchups where you're just like, if they have it, they have it. You could practice as much as you want. If your deck is not teched against it, it's just one of the hardest matchups. Yeah. And then that's it.
That just means
Like 3 MVPs?
I already know.
You already know, my boy, Hody Joy. Surprisingly, Kid was pretty useless. Kid, I wouldn't say useless, it's threatening when you search it. They play differently. So it's pretty good. I would say Shanks. Like, it has to be Shanks. Like, this guy carried me in my Shanks matchups. Like, if you lose a Shanks matchup, it's just so bad. And then it's tough. It's either Carrot or Dofi. Like, come on, the freezing is just so much value. You freeze, you stall their board, you go for life, you push, and it's just so good. So I wouldn't say 3, I would say 4. It would be these 4. Because I would also include Cavendish. The problem with Cavendish is they... The problem with Cavendish, they always answer him. There's always an answer for Cavendish. So, like, yeah. It's hard to get value off them.
Target number 1.
That's it. That's what I would say.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.